So in the very early hours of the morning on February 21st, 2019, a post was made to the Buddy subreddit about supposed new concept artwork leaks from an unreleased Rockstar game. However, the user deleted their account soon after, so I don't actually know who made this post. And I'll just get it out of the way now, but do not take this as 100% fact. Take it with a grain of salt because, this could be fake, it could be real. Anyway, the post was titled, "I've recently acquired prototype images of an upcoming Rockstar game. I feel that this is the right place to post because it looks like a new Buddy game." Now, one thing I noticed with these images is they seem to be Carnival related. Our first image is called Carnival Ped, and we have a middle-aged man wearing a rather stereotypical Carnival jacket, with ripped black trousers, rocking a moustache with glasses like Lester Crest, smoking a cigar with a peg leg. Now, my first thought on this one is it doesn't seem to be too out there for a game like Buddy, especially as the other concept artwork had a mailman with a hook for his hand, and in Buddy 1 itself, well, at least the Carnival anyway, had actual mermaids and, well, skeleton people. So I don't think a peg leg is too far-fetched for a game like Buddy. Now, our second image is called Kid Alpha. No, I don't think that's a reference to Sid Alpha, but anyway, it looks like to be a young teenager, possibly around the age of 14 to 16, wearing a scarf around his neck, with what looks like a slim fit t-shirt and jeans. With smart shoes, of course. Now, since this image is monochrome, we don't actually have much to go off, but going off his style, he kind of gives off that pretentious attitude. To me, he does look like he could be a preppy, but that's just judging by his facial expressions, however. And of course the way he dresses. Now, since this kid isn't named, it's highly likely he's just going to be a background character with no relevance to the story. Or, maybe Rockstar haven't gotten around to naming him yet. Now, it's important to remember that outside of Buddy, children are seemingly rare and non-existent in Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead. Like in Red Dead Redemption 2, Jack Marston and the one-off appearance from the group of kids in Saint Denis were the only children in Red Dead Redemption 2. Now yes, GTA 5 did have Jimmy and Tracy, but I'd say they were more young adults than, younger teenagers. So take of that what you will. Personally, I think this image is one of the more legitimate ones in my opinion. Now, our third image is called Ped Alpha, and we have another middle-aged man with a moustache rocking a jacket and a t-shirt that says Dad with an unhappy smiley face on the shirt. His trousers look filthy and they're quite ripped. Now to me, this particular character looks like he would be found in a more run-down place of town, like New Coventry. Or maybe he's going to fulfill the role of a stereotypical dodgy-looking carnival worker. After all, Buddy is known for its stereotyping, and I do actually remember seeing quite a few of these characters, well, not this character obviously, but characters who sort of have the same style as this character in the carnival in Buddy. Now onto our fourth image now, and we have Carnival Cashier, an older and slightly more overweight looking man, who is balding at the top of his head, he has a rather unkempt beard, and he's wearing an incredibly dirty dark Christmas jumper. Dirty dark green Christmas jumper, my apologies. And he's holding what looks like is a pipe, and he has a bright pink purse thing. I don't know what they're called. I think they're called fanny packs in America, I believe. I don't know. Anyway, his trousers have holes in them, and his shoes, well, the one shoe at least, is incredibly torn up. Now this character looks like he'd be hosting one of the more dodgy carnival games, and going off his appearance, he's also going to fill up the role of a dishonest worker who's a bit too friendly with buyers. Now the fifth image we have is named Punk Dude. Now the punks were actually a scrapped click from Buddy 1, and it's not uncommon for game developers to reuse cut game ideas in future titles. But the thing is, this guy looks like he's in his early to mid 20s. Certainly not a teenager. He looks more like a hipster to me than a punk, but I think that's down to your own interpretations of, a punk style. Anyway, this guy has a necklace, which looks like it could be the Cross of Christ. He looks like he's also lost quite a few teeth, as we can only see one tooth. And like the others, his shirt is incredibly dirty, and he seems to be a fan of denim, as he has a denim vest on, alongside denim jeans. Now personally, I'm hoping that this is one of those aesthetic kind of peds, and certainly not a clique member. I actually got GTA 5 vibes off this guy, like, he actually does look like somebody you would see, in GTA 5. I don't know if that's because, there are some peds in GTA who share the same kind of style as him, but personally, like I said, I just got some GTA 5 vibes off him. Now, onto our seventh image now, and yes, I know I skipped number 6 and I'll do that one in a moment, and I'm skipping that because, well, I'm skipping number 6 because 7 is more related to the last image we had. Anyway, image 7 is Punk Girl. Now this one to me actually does remind me a lot of the Final Cut shopkeeper named Betty, located in New Coventry. Anyway, this girl has a shaved head, loads of piercings in her right ear, and what looked like could be a spiked choker. And of course another necklace of the Cross of Christ, possibly. She's also wearing a low-cut blue-collared shirt, cargo shorts, and one purple and black sock. Yeah, only the one, with white shoes. Now as said, she does remind me an awful lot of Betty, the New Coventry shopkeeper who also had kind of a punk aesthetic. So I think she would fit into the world of fuck off. What is it? Now, as said, she does remind me an awful lot of Betty, the new Coventry shopkeeper, who had a kind of a punk aesthetic, so she would fit into the world of Buddy incredibly well. Well, aside from one, the young kid from earlier, I personally think that this one is one of the more genuine kind of artworks. So back to our 6th image now, and we have another monochrome image of a bearded lady, who looks like she could be a ballerina and a man who could be a partner. Either way, there's no really defining traits of these two, they kind of look just a bit generic, you know, for a carnival attraction or whatever. So yeah, this one is sort of hard to go off. Now, our last few images are incredibly strange because they all claim to be carnival concepts, but they are incredibly lacking in any kind of detail whatsoever. So while these could be early drafts of, well, you know, carnival attractions and stands and that, but yeah, it's just important to keep that in mind. So our first carnival concept is Balloon Popper. Nothing to really go off of here because it just looks, well, like a very early draft. Or something, you know, somebody drew up in, what's it, Illustrator? No, not Illustrator. You know what I mean. Anyway, our second image is a pizza and beer stand, which also sell ice cream, funnel cakes and hot dogs. We can also see whoever made this image has actually labelled the beer stickers will be on this stand and a load of trash will surround it. Kind of fulfilling that, you know, stereotypical, run-down, crappy, dodgy carnival kind of vibe. If I actually remember correctly, I think Buddy 1 had the same kind of style, you know, loads of trash all over the floor. So this is actually kind of legitimate in my opinion. Now, third image is a fortune teller. Now this is one of the more incredibly detailed ones, as we can see a similar machine to the first fortune teller from the first Buddy game. Though it looks like this will be a tent kind of place instead of just being a sarcastic machine. Now on the left we can actually see a sign that says life, death, and I can't read the rest of it. The second part of the third image is something called Weight Watcher. Now personally, if this leak is legitimate, I can actually see this being changed because, well, Weight Watchers is a legitimate company. So this will probably be changed to avoid copyright lawsuits. Anyway, on the left side we can see someone promoting a ride of a horse, which I can almost certainly see being a Red Dead Redemption 2 reference in some way. And on the right hand side of the image we can see a scale, which I can actually imagine will call you a whale if you step on it. Or, you know, just make a load of fat jokes. Now, Carnival Game 4 is called Shoot and Run, and it looks like the kind of game where you'd be spraying water at the centre to win a race. There's not really much to talk about here, but yeah, there really isn't anything to talk about here. But Carnival Game number 5 is Whack-A-Robber, which looks like a parody of Whack-A-Mole. So where did these images come from? Well, these images actually came from an official Rockstar Illustrator named Joyce Lee. No, she didn't post these herself, but it's very interesting to see that she works at Rockstar. Well, Rockstar New York to be specific, and has worked there since 2012. And don't forget, one of the rumours surrounding Buddy 2 is that it's been in development since 2012, so it could make some sense as to why these aren't as detailed as the other concept artworks, because they could just be very early concept art. Either way, this wouldn't be the first time leaked concept artworks have surfaced. Some of you may remember the remastered GTA 4 map that surfaced in 2016, which was also quickly pulled from a Rockstar developer's portfolio. Another such incident is one with a remastered Red Dead Redemption map in 2016, which, looking back, was probably from Red Dead Redemption 2, specifically the New Austin side. Now, a few weeks ago, or was it a month, I can't remember, but either way somebody posted loads of leaked concept artworks from various Rockstar developers and claimed them all to be from Buddy 2. And even though most of them were fake, one of the developers was actually contacted and he actually removed the dormitory looking concepts, which granted may have been pulled because he didn't want to be harassed over Buddy 2, or maybe it was Buddy 2 concepts and he actually pulled it after realising a mistake. Also, one thing to note is Joyce's concept artwork style here looks very similar to that of the other leaked artworks from 2017, while their other stuff is a completely different style. So take of that what you will, I guess. Personally, I think that gives it a bit more legitimacy, but you know. So what do I think? Personally, I think the character concepts mostly do look like they would fit in incredibly well with Buddy's world, but at the same time the concepts of the carnival itself do look a bit lacking, though I do think that's just because the concepts like that tend to become more detailed over time. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, do not take it as 100% fact, because for all we know, these could be fake. Although I'm mentioning more on the side of it could be legitimate. Although that might also be because, let's be realistic, anybody who knows me and you've been to my channel before knows I'm absolutely desperate for a Buddy sequel. So if this is legitimate, it confirms we will be having the carnival making a return. Which is a good thing in my opinion, because the carnival in Buddy 1 was actually great. It had a lot to do, but this time I'd hope all the stalls are available so we can grab snacks or play all the other games they have available. And this time, if they have the Funhouse return, I'd honestly love to be able to revisit it whenever we want, as I felt the carnival for the first game was a bit of a letdown when you couldn't re-enter the Funhouse as you wish, aside from that one mission Funhouse Fun. Now the Carnival games themselves don't look out of place for Buddy either, especially since the first Buddy had baseball toss, the shooting range, dunk and midget, and what was the other one? Test of strength, that was it, yeah. So Balloon Popper, Shoot and Run and Whack-a-Robber would fit in incredibly well with Buddy's style of gameplay. Now the characters themselves all seem to be following Buddy's style of every character is unique, so it's not that out there to have minor characters look all incredibly different. At this moment in time, we're safe to assume these could, keyword could, not 100%, but these could be real. Now only time will tell of that, however. The only thing that strikes me as non-genuine is how they're not as detailed as the other artworks. However, as many of you may have noticed, these characters all seem to be minor ones, so there might not be any real reason for them to be as detailed as the main characters would be. So yeah, big thanks to Reddit user Infamous Ian for pinging me, even if it was at like 5 AM. So yeah, I thank you all for watching, subscribe for more Buddy content, and if you can support me with the upcoming shitstorm that's about to hit YouTube, please do, it would be strongly appreciated. That being said, thank you for watching, and have a great day people, and I really hope these leaks are legitimate.